Welcome back to Up Front and our extended interview with Wisconsin's new governor-elect, Tony Evers. Spent a little bit of time talking about priorities.
Sure.
You talked a lot about health care during the campaign. Yeah. You said you wanted to pull Wisconsin out of the lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of Obamacare. Do you intend to do that immediately upon taking office?
Working with Josh Kaul, the Attorney General-elect, yes, we will do that as soon as possible. We can't be duplicitous here. We have to, if we're saying we want to get rid of the Affordable Care Act and pre-existing condition protections over there, and then we want to keep them over here, that we can't have both. And so, we support, both of us support the Affordable Care Act. So we will be pulling ourselves out of that.
It's quite possible the state Senate may pass legislation in this upcoming session that would provide coverage for pre-existing conditions. Do you have any response to that?
Well, I think that's a little cosmetic. I'm glad people are on the side of protecting those pre-existing conditions. But if the Affordable Care Act goes away, the state doesn't have the ability, I don't believe, to impose those protections on self-funded programs, health insurance programs. And that self-funded programs, lots of school districts are self-funded, some of our larger industries are. So I don't think that's going to have, the effect that people think it will have. So it is important that we keep those, the federal requirements around protections for pre-existing conditions will always trump what happens over here on the state side. So yes, am I glad that everybody's excited and supportive of that? That's great, but if the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, goes away, that will not be sufficient for all the people in the state of Wisconsin.
You said in the last week that you want to take the Medicaid money, the federal expansion of Medicaid, something that the governor has declined to do, concerns about the financing of that long term. You said you're going to travel around the state to try to convince people that's a good idea. You have the advantage of the bully pulpit, but you're going to have to convince a lot of Republican lawmakers too. Do you think you're going to be able to do that?
Absolutely, and there's lots of Republicans that work in the healthcare industry too. They're all Democrats that work in the healthcare industry that understand how important it is for reimbursement rates, for all sorts of things that are important to them, is tied directly to accessing that Medicaid expansion money. So yes, we'll go across the state making sure that people not just people that are receiving health care in Wisconsin or not receiving it, they certainly have a lot to be gained by it, but also the industries themselves, whether it's the dentists in the state of Wisconsin or the practitioners or the large healthcare industry people. They know that this is in their best interest too. So we're going to rally the troops. I understand that there's an ideological bent on the Republican side in the legislature for some, but we're going to try to overcome that, and I think we can.
How important is the Medicaid expansion component to any budget you put together? I mean, do you need that money in order to do other things like fund education in the way that you talked about during the campaign?
We need that money to make sure that we have good, affordable, accessible health care in the state of Wisconsin. And that's why we're proposing it. If it goes away, basically what we'll have is a status quo in health care. But all these pieces, frankly, are connected, whether it's education, whether it's roads and transportation, whether it's health care. All those things are going to be part of the budget. That's what I've talked about for the last year on the campaign trail. So we're not backing away from that. And, if we need to find common ground someplace, we will. But our proposals are reflective of what people voted for in last November.
And Republicans say there's just no way you can raise education spending by $1.4 billion without raising taxes to some degree.
It's always been about priorities, and we're going to continue to do that.
And you do it without raising taxes?
Yes, I believe we can. We will do that without raising taxes. Our budget will be one that meets those obligations that we talked about when we ran for office, and is as good as it is as it can be around taxes. And we actually will be proposing, as I talked about during the campaign, a 10% decrease in income taxes for people that are middle income in the state of Wisconsin, who have been left behind, frankly, in the previous 8 years. So we're gonna put together a budget. We're working with the budget people in Madison right now to make that happen.
Yeah, I've got to ask you about education in general. Sure. One of the things you talked about on the campaign trail was the fact that you weren't excited about the voucher program, that it's tough to fund. I think you talked about 2 separate school districts. You've got public schools and you have private schools. Are you going to do anything about that in your first budget? Can you do anything about that?
Well, we have 30,000 kids plus in the system right now, and so to end the program, no. What we're going to start out by doing is having more accountability and transparency, so that people actually know where their property tax dollars go. I think if for us to have a honest discussion around that in the state of Wisconsin, it's not going to happen through the budget process. The budget process will put together some more accountability, more transparency so that we can engage people in that. Going forward, is that going to be an easy thing to do, to have 2 or 3 systems that are publicly funded? It's going to be very difficult, but we want to have a building block in place that talks about transparency.
You saw the latest state report card that came out just a few weeks ago, and it showed in the Milwaukee area, for instance, charter schools, private choice schools, doing better than the Milwaukee public schools. Does that cause you to rethink your position on eventually phasing out vouchers?
Well, I think what it does is it should clarify for everybody. The issue is not always about whether it's this system or this system or this system. It's about all kids that in the Milwaukee area and all kids across the state, how they achieve at a much higher level, and we're going to continue to work on that. But the infighting around the different systems, I think, is counterproductive if we focus on the kids and what their needs are. And that's why I'm really happy in the Milwaukee area, the bringing people together, talking about early childhood and the importance of trauma and trauma-informed care, and making sure that we have good early childhood programs. It's easy, and I understand we have to look at what goes on in our schools, but we also have to fund our schools adequately, and that's part of what we're going to be doing going forward. But we also have to look at all the other pieces of the puzzle that fit into that, whether it's around housing, whether it's around economic development in the Milwaukee area, whether it's about transportation issues, whether it's about evictions. All these things play a role in how kids achieve in schools. So I'm really happy. I know the Lovels have done a great job making sure that
Marquette president,
and bringing people together around this. I think that has great hope. In my budget also, we'll be putting money in for actually high quality child care in the Milwaukee area that is absent in many cases, and it is important because of the trauma that poverty brings to a young kid's life.
I've got a couple more questions about Milwaukee. We'll take a quick break. We'll tackle that. And our editorial partner, WisPolitics.com, is tracking news of the incoming administration on a new feature of their website, Transition Watch. You'll find the latest at WisPolitics.com.